Charis Motors Limited has launched a new brand of Jaguar sports cars, the F-Type V6 and V8. This latest edition is coming after their last sports car, the E-Type, launched about 40 years ago. The new range of revolutionary convertible automobile, the new F-Type, comes with powerful supercharged engines that cover up to 260 kilometers and 300 kilometers with a 3.0 and 5.0 liter engine.
Powerful, agile, ultra-precise, sensual, alive. These words best describe the new Jaguar F-Type V6 and V8 sports cars launched in Abuja by the Charis Motors. Utterly distinctive, these Jaguar convertible sports cars, their latest in sports automobile after 40 years, are engineered for high performance and instantaneously responsive handling with supercharged engines that minimizes the gap between a driver's demand for power and the engine's response.
Jaguar is known for the uniqueness of its characteristics. The British craftsmanship is always met, they signify themselves and really stood out for everything they do, and that is what has reflected in this product. Guys who want to differentiate themselves just got to get into this product. It's not for mass market, it's for unique individuals who want to stand out among the crowd, and you take this product, you make a statement that in itself.
This F-Type is all about style, it's all about the power, it's all about having to express yourself.
Tagged the Playboy's automobile, the F-Type sports car, set to have the right curves at the right places, was made to look, feel and drive like a Jaguar, giving utter fascination and power to the driver.
The new models are fantastic and lovely and beautiful, and they have very, very nice engine.
280 kilowatts versus 364 kilowatts on the right over there. So the amounts of power you're getting between the two cars are very, very different. They're also set up for two very, very different drivers. We've got a normal limited slip differential on the V6 versus active rear differential on the V8. So the cars are set up two very different drivers, very much a more comfort drive here and a more driver enthusiast drive on the right hand side. We didn't really redesign the wheel or redesign the sports car, we just made it better.
With their powerful supercharged engines and lightning fast gearbox, lightweight total aluminium body and an obsession with balance and propulsion, a superb suspension and a host of advanced driving technologies, this peerless design from Jaguar will no doubt ensure Charis Motors continues to dominate the automobile sector of the market. Omelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.
Nasarawa State Governor Tanko Al-Makura has approved 3 special schools for physically challenged persons in the state. The special needs schools approved by the governor include the School for the Blind, Deaf and Children with Autism to be located in Lafia and Akwanga local government areas. Governor Al-Makura made the announcement during his 61st birthday celebration to the delight of people living with disabilities. He said he is committed to making their lives better.
Governor Tanko Al-Makura on arrival at the Center for Disabled Persons in Lafia amidst jubilation and cheers by various groups of persons living with disabilities. The ceremony will no doubt remain memorable to these groups of persons living with disabilities following the declaration by the governor.
One thing I want to be remembered for as being a governor or anybody in public office is to see that I have been able to leave a landmark that will uplift the living standard of people living with disability. It is in this regard that I use this opportunity to announce the establishment of special comprehensive school, about 3 of them, each of which is dedicated to a specific peculiar disability: the deaf, the blind, and those with Down syndrome.
Some of the guests described the humility of the governor as unprecedented, wishing him well for the regards accorded them.
We are praying for him for the next coming 2015 election, as God will give him mandate to win the election again. Are we the disabled in Nasarawa State? We are going to support him 100%.
One of the governor's guests, however, said they have made efforts to intimate him of their challenges in society, but regretted their inability to see him before now.
I know we've read so many letters to him requesting for courtesy visit, women with disability, joint association and others. So we need him to kindly consider our letters even when we request for courtesy visit.
The governor and his guests had plenty to eat and drink at the gathering that remained a surprise to a lot of them.
Despite security challenges in the northern parts of the country, Nigeria remains the only polio endemic country in the world that has recorded substantial reduction of 65% in polio cases and a 29% increase in routine immunization this year. However, 200 polio survivors in Kano State recently took to the streets in protest of non-compliance of parents to polio immunization exercises in the state. Our community report tonight takes a look at a disease that has caused untold hardship to thousands, and with a resolve to finding a lasting solution.
Etisala, now you're talking.
The ability to move freely is one of the most appreciated gifts. And when this is hampered by incarceration or disease, then the opposite sets in. Polio is a highly contagious viral infection that can lead to paralysis, breathing problems, or even death. And here in Nigeria, the war against the disease is gaining support.
It's not an easy campaign, but last May there was a big gathering where everybody committed themselves, including the Nigerian government, to work together and to finish polio, officially finish it by 2018.
It's about logistics, it's about funding, it's about doing the right thing, and I think we, the locals, can actually help, because he's not here all the time, but he has a very good, excellent team on the ground, and they are partnering with our own team to make sure that things are done right.
There's a lot of help.
This reassurance by two of the world's richest men is enough to calm nerves. But this calmness is yet to be felt in some parts. This exodus is a protest ride by polio survivors in Kano State who are crying foul over segregation by members of the community, an injustice they do not want their children to experience. Numbering over 200, they take their grievances to the government house.
We came out for rally and then peaceful demonstration to show the people in Kano State that we are polio survivors and that they should try as much as possible to be giving their children for immunizations, for polio immunizations, so that their children will not be like us in future.
Most of our members cannot move easily to go fast or to do many works. Our people cannot farm and then cannot make a football unless now we are planning for para-soccer. That is our game.
Polio is real. We are the victims, and we come up to make this rally just to show the world that disability is in mind, and at the same time reduce the number of non-compliance we are having in our communities.
The Kano State Commissioner of Health gives an advice on how this can be avoided.
This is why we are still further calling on the public to make use of this opportunity to vaccinate their children. Because all the children that were found to have this poliomyelitis disease were either unimmunized or were partially immunized. And that is why we are calling on them to allow their children to be fully vaccinated.
With 14 recorded cases and over 600 survivors within the 44 local government areas of the state, Kano is second behind Borno State in terms of high recorded cases of polio disease. But with assurances coming from the government and philanthropists, this statistics may soon be a thing of the past.
On the foreign scene here in Africa, former South African President Nelson Mandela is still unable to speak. His ex-wife, Winnie Mandela, told South Africa's local newspaper today that the anti-apartheid icon uses facial expressions to communicate. She said the 95-year-old remained quite ill, but dismissed speculation that he was on a life support machine. A passenger plane has crashed at an airport in the Russian city of Kazan, killing at least 44 people. The Boeing 737 had taken off from Moscow and was reportedly trying to land, but it exploded on impact. Russian officials told local media that there was no survivor. In sports news tonight on football, standing captain of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Vincent Nyema, has expressed joy at the opportunity of making a third appearance at the World Cup finals in Brazil next year. The Nigerian #1 goalkeeper says coach Stephen Keshi deserves commendation for the team's all-round development that helped in qualifying for the 2014 World Cup after a 4-1 aggregate victory over Ethiopia. And in tennis, Radek Stefanik blew away Dusan Lajovic in 3 sets to give the Czech Republic a 3-2 victory over Serbia in the Davis Cup final in Belgrade. 23-year-old Lajovic, who is also world number 117, was a late replacement for the injured world number 36, Janko Tipsarevic, who was seriously beaten 6-3, 6-1, 6-1. The 44th ranked 34-year-old Stefanik saw off Lajovic in just an hour and 52 minutes as the Czechs retained the trophy they won last year. Finally, in Formula One, Red Bull's Sebastian Vettel set a new record of 8 consecutive wins in a single season after winning the United States Grand Prix. This win in Texas is the 38th of his career. It followed the manner of so many others. Lotus's Romain Grosjean held off Red Bull's Mark Webber for second. Mercedes-Benz's Lewis Hamilton was fourth, fending off Ferrari's Fernando Alonso and Sauber's Nico Hülkenberg. Vettel has been unbeatable since Formula One returned from its midsummer break at the Belgian Grand Prix, winning all the races and taking 5 pole positions and 3 second places on the grid. And the main news again. The people of Anambra State are awaiting the result of the governorship elections, and citizens have converged on the INEC office in Awka. Although the result has not been declared, 2 governorship candidates, Dr. Chris Ngige of the APC and Mr. Tony Nwoye of the PDP, have expressed dissatisfaction with the exercise and have indeed called on INEC to schedule a rerun election in the entire state. And a French national who was kidnapped by the Ansaru Islamic sect in Katsina State and held hostage for almost a year has escaped from his captors in Zaria, Kaduna State. That's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Olumide Makori.